Welcome to Deadline Horror News for the week of August 26, 2021. I'm Josh, and of course, as always, I'm joined here with Donnie.
Hey.
And the Professor Smoke.
Hey.
And of course, Will couldn't join us as usual, but we are from the All-American Spookshow Horror Podcast, and as always, we want to remind you to like and subscribe to the channel down below there and click on the bell to be notified when we upload new videos. These come out every Thursday, just a heads up. We also want you to become a supporter of the Spook Show by going over to patreon.com/AASpookShow and sign up to become a patron. And we have levels starting at $1, $3 up to $1,000, crazy level that, just need to go check it out just to see what that, includes. But the main attraction over there is the popular segment, The Library of the Professor, where Professor Smoke takes a curated selection from his personal collection and talks about it and gives his rating. So those come out every Tuesday over on Patreon. And that's patreon.com/AASpookshow. We also want to remind you that episode 70 of the regular podcast, the All-American Spookshow Podcast, that comes out, episode 70 just came out this past Monday. And that's our latest Spookshow Spotlight History of Werewolves wrap-up video podcast. I'm getting videos and podcasts mixed up. And the special guest on that one was Travis Roy of the Cinema 9 podcast. He joined us for that to kind of help us wrap up the history of wolves or werewolves series that we did throughout the Summer of the Wolf here. So that one's out now. And then, of course, next Monday, August 30th at 6 p.m. East, episode 71 is out. And that's our next movie review episode. And that's where we wrap up the Summer of the Wolf with Another Wolf Cop from 2017. So that will be the end of the Summer of the Wolf series next Monday, August 30th at 6 p.m. East. So, Donnie, what's your latest deadlines and horror news?
Yeah, we actually found some interesting things. AMC Fear Fest. You guys ever tuned in for that?
Oh yeah, various times throughout the years.
Yeah. Well, it's actually it's coming back this October. It's a Halloween staple. Mm-hmm. It's going to be for the entire month of October. It's going to feature 80 different horror movies. Including all the classics we love. I say all of them. There's 80.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot of classics. And some new releases. What was announced was a lineup includes Halloween, Underworld, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Final Destination, who ruined all of our lives. The Shining and Scream. That's just some of the lineup that was recently announced. There's also going to be a brand new season of Eli Roth's History of Horror, and the second season of Shudder's Creepshow. Have you guys checked out Creepshow?
Yeah, I think we caught up with all of it over here on this
season.
I am not caught up. I watched the first couple of episodes of that second season, but I haven't. I just kind of moved on to something else, and I forgot to go back and finish it, so I need to do it.
Yeah, I have not watched it at all.
Yeah, but that first season was awesome, and the first couple episodes of this season were pretty good too. So
yeah,
good job on those.
It's on the list. I just haven't got to it yet.
Yeah, but, you need to get to it, especially coming up into October. You need to get to it.
Oh yeah. There's a lot to catch up on, but the actual full schedule of AMC Fear Fest is going to be released sometime later. But that's pretty cool that they're doing it for the entire month.
Yeah, because I think it used to just be for like a week or two, back years ago. But I guess more recently they've expanded it to be like the entire month of October. So, go check out AMC Fear Fest and then come back here for all your other October needs. Here on the YouTube and podcasting and all that.
Yeah, man. Now that you guys are, bookworms, you guys will like this. This next little headline: George Romero's zombie novel, *The Living Dead*, which was actually released last summer. It was released as a hardback version. Well, the paperback version is going to be released September 7th. Just in time for Halloween. So, you guys read that?
No, I haven't.
No, I haven't read that. Yeah.
It seems like I remember seeing something about it, like at some point that this was going to be a thing, but then I just kind of forgot about it and never followed up.
He passed away in 2017, and at that time he was working on it. but obviously he never finished it. But it was ultimately finished by Daniel Kraus, made by he finished it using Romero's notes. So I thought that was cool. So
yeah,
it's like
check it out.
650 pages. It's about 655 pages longer than I would read.
Well, that's only about the first chapter of the latest Stephen King book. So yeah, I think I can do that.
Yeah, I'm not a avid novel reader, or basically reader of anything.
A reader of the words or saying them or anything.
No, but a lot of our. So
I was going to say, speaking of Romero and novels and whatnot, I did get a chance to meet him. I think it was at Mad Monster Party, I believe, in Charlotte one year. And he signed my hardback copy of Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's something you frame, I guess. I don't know if you frame. Do you frame a book? Can you frame a book?
You can frame anything.
I just nailed it. I just nailed it straight to the wall. Like
command strips.
Any other deadlines?
Yeah. Well, as far as headlines, it's we've got deadlines. Yeah, whatever. No, the entire Jaws franchise is coming back to Netflix. That's Jaws, Jaws 2, Jaws 3, and Jaws the Revenge. It's coming back September 16th. And we actually covered the first film, Jaws, episode 35.
Yeah, that was last summer of 2020. Yeah. Jaws attacked.
I think that was our highest rated movie too, right? Between all of us rating it.
I believe it was. Yeah. I having everything in front of me. I'm pretty sure that was our highest, cumulatively our highest rated movie. Yeah.
Yeah, it was almost a 4.75 across the board.
So that's about as good as you'll probably get, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not many are gonna come close to that. There will be some eventually, but not many.
Yeah.
There are 3 horror conventions here in the United States this weekend, the weekend of August 27th to the 29th. There's one in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, one in Seattle, Washington, and one in Atlanta, Georgia. So from coast to coast, there's a horror con for you. The one in Gettysburg is called Creature Feature Weekend 2021. Guests include Ted Raimi, Caroline Williams, and Jonathan Breck, and a handful of others. You can go to creaturefeatureweekend.com for tickets and more information on that. But one cool thing I noticed is that they're going to be doing a screening of Children of the Corn with live commentary, because they've got 2 or 3 of the original cast members that are going to be there. So that would be pretty cool to check out. Let's see, in Seattle, Washington, we got Crypticon Seattle 2021. You can go to crypticonseattle.com for the tickets and everything there. Guests include, or the highlights, I should say, are Joe Bob Briggs, David Naughton, and Felissa Rose is going to be there the Friday and Saturday only, and a number of other people as well. And they're going to be having a film festival, cosplay, probably a contest for that, makeup contest, a number of panels. So a lot of cool stuff out there if you're in the Seattle area this weekend. And in Atlanta, Georgia this weekend, Days of the Dead Atlanta 2021. You can go to daysofthedead.com for tickets and whatnot for that. And the guests there include, now it's not to knock any of the people that are at the other 2 conventions, but this is probably the bigger convention as far as name value. You got Henry Thomas, Dee Wallace, Tony Todd, and there's a bunch of others like Kane Hodder and a handful of others that I don't have the full list in front of me. But go over to daysofthedead.com to check out that guest list. It's pretty impressive. And I think all 3 of these conventions had a number of people that were supposed to be there that canceled out. Probably may or may not have had something to do with COVID, or maybe they got other stuff going on, but there were a number of people that canceled out. So you need to check that guest list on all their websites to see who's going to be there. But at Days of the Dead, they're going to be doing pro photo ops, a costume contest, number of panels, and they're going to be having a VIP mixer there. I think it's the Saturday night of that in Atlanta. So they all sound pretty cool. The box office report this weekend, the top 10, number 10, Old, that's the M. Night Shyamalan, made $1.1 million for a total of $45.1 million in its 5th week. Number 9, Reminiscence, that's the new Hugh Jackman film. It opened up with $1.9 million. Number 8, The Night House, that's in its 1st week, opened up at $2.8 million. Smoke, you said you had a chance to go see that this weekend, didn't you?
Yeah, I saw that one. I thought it was, it's worth going to see, I think, for anybody. But it started out strong, but then Yeah. The ending. Go see it. Judge for yourself. It kind of lost me a little bit partway through there as far as my interest in it overall, but I think it's still worth seeing. Maybe we'll cover it at some point on the show. I'm sure
we'll get around to it eventually. Number 7, it opened up. Opened up this weekend. The Protege made $2.9 million. Number 6, The Suicide Squad. Number 5, Respect. Number 4, Don't Breathe 2, in its second week made a little over $5 million for a total of $19.6 million. Number 3, Jungle Cruise. Number 2, Donnie's favorite, Paw Patrol the movie, opened up at $13.1 million. And number 1 for the second week in a row, Free Guy made $18.5 million for a total of $58.5 million. So it's cruising along so far.
We thought partway through the Night House, we thought maybe we should have gone and see the Free Guy instead.
Yeah, that's not good when you're halfway through the movie and wish you'd been seeing anything else. All right, so that's the box office report. So I'll go ahead and talk about the new releases. There's only 3, like over the next week or so. Today on Shudder, a movie called Mosquito State just released. I don't know anything about it, but it sounds interesting enough to see what the hell that's about. That's available on Shudder now. And tomorrow, video on demand, The Stairs, which I think we mentioned last week, the week before, it was coming out in some form or another. We've mentioned it before. And of course, the big release this week is Candyman. That comes out in theaters, wide release tomorrow. So I'm sure a lot of people will be going to check that out this weekend for sure. And I guess one more thing before we close up shop here for Deadline Horror News is the horror anniversary date of today. In 1930, actor director Lon Chaney Sr. passed away. So that was 1930. So quick math, 81 years ago, something like that? It sounds about right. No, 91 years ago? Yeah. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah. 91 years ago. Lon Chaney Sr. passed away. So not to be confused with the Wolfman.
Maybe one talkie, I think. I know for sure he made one talkie.
Yeah. I think you mentioned him, like there was that one movie that's lost of his, right? Well, there's probably more than one, but the one
London After Midnight. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one where he's got the teeth and he's got the top hat, kind of looks like the version of Jack the Ripper or something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you always see the picture of that, but like you said, that was a lost film, right?
Yeah, I think they've got a few frames of it, maybe. I don't even know if they have a movie. They've attempted to reconstruct it before using different methods. I've never seen the reconstruction thing, but I think maybe there was a few frames of moving images, and then the other stuff was still frames and still photos, and it told the story as best they could, I guess. But yeah, for the most part, it's lost.
All right, well, I guess that's going to wrap it up for this week's edition of Deadline Horror News. Come back next Thursday, and of course, every Monday at 6 p.m. East, a new episode of the podcast, All-American Spookshow Horror Podcast drops. So wherever you get your podcast, you can find us there. So for Will, of course, and for Donnie and the Professor Smoke, I'm Josh, and we are the All-American Spookshow Horror Podcast, and we will see you next week.
Later.
See ya.